So right away, you'll notice one big difference, right? We don't use electricity. So there's no cord. There's no reason to plug it into the wall anywhere. You don't have to look for electrical connections that fit in your kitchen or anything like that. Vitev systems are all natural, and we'll talk a little bit about more about that shortly. But you'll also notice there's a pretty significant difference in filtration and the possibilities that you're allowed to use. You can pair our systems with filtration systems you already have in your home. You can utilize some of the filtration systems that we have built into ours. It doesn't matter. Whatever filtration level you want, you can have. With an electric system, you don't necessarily get that. You're kind of stuck with whatever cartridges they have inside of the ionizer. And if you want to add a pre-filtration system, you're going to pay a lot more for that. And you still have to figure out a way to make sure there's enough minerals in the water that the electrolysis process and those electric ionizers works. With Vitev stuff, you don't need to worry about that. You'll also notice right away the price point, right? I mean, you can get a comparable Vitev system to one of the electric ionizers for what, a 20th of the price? And that's a pretty substantial difference. But the biggest difference between our stuff and electric ionizers of any brand or any name is the process that's happening inside. On the electric side, what they're doing is using that electrical current to create an electrolysis chamber inside the ionizer. The electricity runs across all of those plates and it pulls the water in two different directions. You get one stream that's really concentrated with oxygen. You get one stream that's concentrated with hydrogen. And that's your acid and alkaline streams that you should be drinking and getting rid of, right? But it's overkill. You do not need that violent of a reaction, that level of electricity to create that small boost in pH and the increase in antioxidant levels, the ORP, right? We're measuring that in millivolts, millionths of a volt. We do not need 110 volts to do that. On the flip side, what we've done at Vitev is basically just try to replicate what happens in nature. Think of a clean, wild environment and the water cycle that's happening there. It's just kind of intuitive. Water flows through soil, sediment, layers of rocks. As it does that, it dissolves some of those minerals. It adds that to the water, right? It's also going to react with some of those minerals. It's running through a magnetic field from the earth. There's solar ionization happening. There's all sorts of these subtle processes that take place, and water is a very malleable substance, right? It can take on a lot of those subtle changes. And so what you end up with is a clean, mineral-rich, antioxidant, easy-to-drink water, which is all we've tried to do with our mineral cartridges. We're just replicating what happens in nature. And what you'll find is it ends up being a clean, safe, alkaline-rich, simple water to drink that's affordable, easy to use, no crazy maintenance, and no crazy sticker price.